All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our live stream tonight. It's a few minutes after 7 p.m. We have a lot of in store for you, those who are watching tonight. The purpose of our live stream tonight is to address a number of questions regarding our blended learning approach this school year 2020. And of course, we have with us a number of people who will be answering those questions. So we have parents with us. We'll ask them a few questions. Why they're sticking with Harris Memorial College. Of course, we have one student who's joining us for um, this program tonight, this live stream. And we will be also asking questions from our very own teachers. Our Dean of Academic Affairs is also joining us, and many other individuals, people from Harris Memorial College. They are going to share with us their thoughts, their ideas, and of course, the developer of our blended learning blended learning program, which is the flexible learning management system, and we will ask our developer later on. So, if Pastor Benuya is here today, we would like to ask him to open this program tonight with the word of prayer. Pastor Estelito Benuya is the chaplain of Harris Memorial College. Pastor Estelito.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at isang kagalakan na magkasama-sama tayo ngayong gabi sa panel discussion and interview na gagawin natin. It's a good thing to begin this activity in prayer. So, let us all pray. Our loving and gracious God, we come before you in humble spirit, accepting our limitations and weaknesses, and acknowledging that apart from you, we can do nothing. Thank you for giving us life and the sufficiency of it, in spite of the pandemic that we are all in. Thank you for supplying our needs for survival. Although we are in crisis, we still have life, strength. We have our family who inspires and reminds us to continue to hold on to our faith. As we begin this panel interview, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. Bless each panelist and the administrators as they share their knowledge and experiences on how we as Harris family will face the challenges and opportunities of the new normal setting of education. May this venture strengthen and empower our commitment to quality, holistic, and transforming education for Christ-like life and service. Inaalala namin din ngayon ang aming bansa, ang aming lipunan na patuloy na dumadaan sa krisis na ito. Heal those who were deeply affected and suffered from COVID-19. Those who have lost their loved ones, lost their jobs, and even those who have lost their faith. Embrace them with courage, provision, and healing. Protektahan niyo po kami, O Banal na Panginoon, sa lahat ng pagkakataon. We believe that you are the Emmanuel, the God who is with us, mananatiling sasama sa amin sa lahat ng panahon. Salamat po sa gabing ito at pagpalain nyo na maging mabunga ang interview and panel discussion na gagawin namin ngayong gabi. Ito po ang aming dalangin sa makapangyarihang pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor Benuya. Pastor Benuya is our chaplain at Harris Memorial College. So just to update everyone, to give everyone an idea what to expect tonight, this is going to be the flow of the program. So immediately after the opening prayer, I will be introducing the panel members who will be interviewed tonight. And when we're done with all the questions, we will open the floor, quote unquote, for Q&A if people have questions for us. And I will be introducing each one if you are here. I don't get to see you because I'm using a phone. But anyway, please acknowledge and say a few words, and then we will proceed with the actual interview or panel interview. So let me begin by introducing those who are coming from the Harris Memorial College family. We would like to, of course, we'd like to welcome the president. First, acknowledge the presence of our president who made this live stream tonight possible. Um, I know she's busy, we're all busy, and here we are. We have this live stream. We will begin with Dr. Ruby Leia Lissing. Dr. Ruby, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
All right.
Welcome to this panel discussion of Harris Memorial College.
Okay, so Dr. Ruby Leia Lissing is the new dean for academic affairs. We'd like to hear also from the principal, Dr. Elvira Doliaga Mercado. Ma'am, are you here yet? Good evening, ma'am. Okay, so we'll try to get Dr. Mercado in a little while. Now let's welcome the other members of the panel. We have our teachers from Harris Memorial College. Do we have Rosaline Ballesteros, our OIC from the senior high school? Hello, ma'am. All right. We'll try that later. What about Sir Cis Dulay, our senior high school teacher who's joining us tonight? Sir Cis? Okay. We also have Miss Jean Gike or Hike, if I pronounce that correctly, from the junior high school department.
Hi,
Say
good
hi.
evening, everyone.
All right. Good evening. And we'd like to welcome Marielle Pearl Eugenio from the elementary department. Say hi.
Hello po, good evening po.
All right. Good evening. From the preschools, we have Miss Jenna Lee Caleja.
Hello po, good evening po.
All right. That's Miss Mario. All right. We'll move on now to our parents. We would like to welcome Miss Katina Jane Rabadon. Ma'am, are you with us?
Opo.
All right.
Hello po. Good
welcome,
evening, everyone. Yes, welcome din po sa mga listeners.
Yeah, and we're glad that some of our parents can join us. I know being at home working and at the same time being parents, it's a big deal these days because you're doing two jobs at the same time. So thank you, Miss Rabadon, for joining us. And we'd like to welcome Mr. Pierre Ian Fajardo. Sir, good evening.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
All right, thank you. We'll be asking a few questions from you in a little while. And of course, our dear friend, Dr. Nats, my dear colleague, Dr. Nats Petaliar. Dr. Nats.
Hello, good evening. I'm so honored to be here tonight. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you, ma'am, for your availability. We have Reverend Nitin Kiran Sarath. I see you around. Good evening, Pastor.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Thank you for inviting me on this panel. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for your availability. And we have Dr. Dulce Santos. Dr. Dulce.
Hello. Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me over here.
All right. And finally, We have our incoming grade 9 student, Juliana Isabel La Canaria. Is that right? Juliana,
Hello, good
say hi.
evening po. Hello, good evening po. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Just wondering if we have Miss Roslyn Ballesteros yet and Mr. Cerces. Okay.
Hello, good
And
evening, everyone.
Mr. Rafi,
Yes, ma'am.
our Harris FLMS developer.
Yes. Okay. So no more from Harris Memorial College faculty and staff. So last but not the least, of course, we'd like to welcome Pastor Owen Jose Michael Villena. Pastor?
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Good evening to all of you here. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so we only have about maybe 2 hours, hopefully. So let's start the ball rolling. So everyone is aware that sometime in December, we were greeted with not so good news. I mean, China was hit by COVID-19, and everybody was expecting that it would fizzle away, like the SARS experience that we had a few years ago. But to the surprise of everybody, COVID was here for maybe for the longest time. We do not know. In fact, in Metro Manila now, we are back to MECQ, and I think even in Rizal, where Harris Memorial College is located. So what happened was it basically um, made things topsy-turvy, if I may use that word. In other words, we were not ready. We were not ready for this. We often call new normal because the economy was affected, and because the economy was affected, companies were closing down because people cannot go to work, and the last industry that was affected, basically, that would suffer would be the area or the field of education. So now we are here to address a number of questions and issues that pertain to education. So, what would happen to education now that all we have is virtual interaction? I'm a teacher, Dr. Nats is a teacher, and many of us here are teachers. We were used to face, right? So, it's either you have a PowerPoint or you have the board. Those are your two defaults. Without those, it's going to be quite challenging. And in fact, I'd like to ask my fellow teachers here. In our case, for example, since I also teach in another school, we were doing we were using a learning management system, and so somehow we were not surprised because we have been into this for like 3 years. And so when we had to switch to full learning management system use, we were ready for it. But the rest of the Philippines, I think around 80% or even more, we were not ready. The schools were not ready. The teachers were not ready. Parents were not ready. And of course, students. That is one side of the coin. All right. That's the other side of the coin. But this evening, we would like to find out, we would like to bring to the fore what have we done at Harris Memorial College, not just to respond to this new normal, but actually, yeah, to mitigate the problems, the issues, and many other concerns, and also to make sure that even though we will just be meeting virtually, everything will be in place. So that's basically the overview of the program tonight, of the live stream tonight. I gave you the context, all right? Those are the problems we're talking about. But what have we done and what are we doing right now so that when students come, quote unquote, everything is in place, everything is ready. Okay, so I hope everyone is ready for my questions. Let me begin with the parents because the parents call the shots, if I may say that. You decide what to do as far as education of your children is concerned, where to send them, when to send them, etc. Right now, when you learn, for example, from the news and from the government that there won't be any face-to-face education, um, what was the first thing that came to mind? I don't want to preempt the question, but I'd like to ask the parents. Any of the parents can answer. Um, ano po yung unang pumasok sa isip niyo? What were your worries? What were your concerns? I know you have a lot of them, a lot of concerns. But maybe what was the first thing that you were concerned about when the government said, okay, no face to face until the vaccine is available? Any from our parents? Or maybe I can call Dr. Nats. You have how many kids at Harris Memorial College?
I have two kids at Harris.
What are the ages?
Zoe is 13, so she's in grade 8. And Neil is he will turn 7, so he will be in grade 1.
All right. So you're wearing two hats. You're a parent and you are an educator. Now, what was running wildly at the back of your mind when the government said no face to face? So what was your reaction? What were you planning to do?
Honestly, when I heard about that, I did not worry about anything because I know that Harris will always be prepared. I'm not saying this because the president is here with us. But at the back of my mind, I know Harris will be ready. And true enough, I received because there are, I think, 5 letters. So I received the first letter. So see, you don't have to worry about anything. But of course, there are other things. But at the outset, I am simply confident about Harris.
That's good to hear. Let's check with Mr. Fajardo. Sir, what was running at the back of your mind when it finally became certain that the government would not allow face-to-face instruction at Harris specifically? Did you consider any other options, for example, or it's gonna be Harris still?
Well, at first, to be honest, I really have no idea what the government will do. But later on, as the government is doing things na alam naman natin na parang hindi natin alam yung what's going on in their mind. So on a monthly basis, nagkakaroon sila ng announcement. So nung time na nagkakaroon na ng announcement and then the government is still have no idea on the instructions on the DepEd or the CHED, what I realized is that there was an idea I got from a social media na magkakaroon tayo ng online classes. So when I heard online classes, as far as my daughter is concerned, which is with me right now, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Which is with me right now. It's okay as long that there will be curriculum na alam ko na mas matututunan na instead na nasa bahay lang and doing just reading, having her iPad with her, doing online things, might as well, for sure that the vaccine will not be available. Not unless the president says that we will be having a vaccine tomorrow. So yun. So nung nakita ko na nagkakaroon na tayo ng idea na parang, and here comes, kasi monthly basis yung nagiging announcement of the government. So nung meron na nag-i-introduce na online class, which fortunately nagkaroon nga, as I seen, sabi ko, okay, that would be good na kaysa naman nasa bahay yung bata na nagdo-drawing, which is my daughter loves having her artwork kits. Nagdo-drawing, nagbabasa. Na sinabihan na nga ako niya na lahat na ng books niya nasagutan niya during the ECQ time. So, sabi ko sa kanya, siguro it would be better if enroll it and have the online class. Kasi, to be honest, this is the first time that I think this is the first time that we'll be having a full year na school year na magkakaroon sila ng online class. So, so it's a good experience for my daughter and also for us parents also.
Yeah. The new normal, as they call it, thank you, sir, is that the the approach and instruction in education now is going to be more student centered, away from the traditional teacher centered instruction, because the teachers will be making the curriculum available using blended approach, and a lot of the work will be dependent on actually the student, and of course parents will play a crucial role as well. That's why we have parents here tonight. Thank you, sir. We'd like to hear from Reverend Nitin Kiran, Pastor Kiran. How did you feel
Yes, thank
about
you.
not sending your child to uh, the typical school, and your child or children will just be staying at home and study with you? How did you feel about that?
Actually, normally it was a very difficult situation for us as we are not a citizen of Philippines, and then we were thinking about the school was going quite good. My son was doing quite good in school, and the school was supporting his studies, and we were having a good relationship with teachers and everybody. And suddenly this situation occurred, and then the government told that the school will be locked, and then it was a hard situation, and we were really worried about the future of our kid, and especially the education, because I know that in Philippines the education is very good, and we were a bit worried what will happen next, but we praise God that Harris administration came upon, and then they had a talk with parents, and they came up with the different projects and platforms that will help the kids for their future, for their education, as well as for the parents. So it was a difficult situation, but hoping that with the help of Harris and the administration staff, the teachers, the things will be okay in the coming days.
All right, that's what we're all hoping for. Everything will be back to the usual, and everyone is going to be um, feeling safer. All right. Finally, I'd like to ask Miss Rabadon. My question for you is quite different from the question that I asked the other panelists. Um, I know there are other schools, specifically at this new normal situation. You can find um, a lot of options online. I mean, online education. Now, I am assuming that you will still going to enroll, or you have already enrolled your child or children at Harris Memorial College. Could you share with us the reason why it's always going to be Harris?
All right. So, yeah, that's the big question. Like, why Harris? There are actually many reasons why I chose Harris, but I'll start with Harris as a Christian school affiliated with Methodist. And, my family is a devoted Methodist since. And, Harris is recognized by the National Historic Society as the pioneer in kindergarten education in the Philippines. And that is something very appealing for me. So last time I enrolled my child for kindergarten too. And after enrolling my child like last year, I must say that the teachers in Harris and all the staff are friendly and so approachable. Like there is harmony among teachers, students, and even parents. And the administration is very active to think and present ideas to make the students' learning fun. and engaging. I really like the quality of education that is provided by Harris because they teach their student, or they are taught, that the students are taught holistically. So the school provide useful and engaging seminars and activities before, and they also encourage and let the students participate both in curricular and extracurricular activities. And I'm so happy. It's really overwhelming because, the students at school in Harris are taught how to pray, how to sing gospel songs, to memorize Bible verses, to attend chapel services. And lastly, there are also like meaningful activities that the students can experience helping others, such as, they go to outreach programs and they have volunteer works that other school doesn't offer. And during this pandemic, I'm really shocked because there's no face to face. But I also trust Harris and I really appreciate them because, even during this pandemic, I really appreciate the joint effort of the Harris administration to make an educational platform for the students to continue with their learning. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for the students to continue studying and learning many things. And yeah, I think all of this I mentioned will really empower the students, and they will be equipped with the things they needed to achieve their goals in life. So Harris forever.
All right. Regardless of the situation, it's gonna be Harris. You have proven it, right? You have proven what the school can deliver, and so you're holding on to that promise, which you and your how many kids, by the way, are in Harris currently?
Oh, I only have one, sir.
Okay,
One.
how old?
School. She's 5 years old.
5 years old. All right. So you are entrusting a tender mind into the pioneers in preschool education in the Philippines. So you nailed it. Thank you for your thoughts. Now, I'd like us to segue now to what Harris is or has been preparing for your children. And of course, I'll be asking a few questions as well from the teachers, what preparations they're doing currently. But would like to address Pastor Owen, who was kind enough to develop a program, learning management system. It's flexible. It has features that would be able to accommodate everybody. Basically, that's why our live stream tonight it's called Harry's Ready. So never prepared. So everyone will have a place in this FLMS. It's called Flexible Learning Management System. Everyone will have a place. Everyone will be accommodated. But as to the details, Pastor Owen will answer those, will explain to us. So, Pastor Owen would like to give you the floor. Um, could you please explain to our parents and to our audience what they can expect, even to our students, what could be expected from this flexible learning management system, which is in place for this school year 2020, 2020 and 2021. Sir?
Right. Um, Thank you, Sir Rafi. Um, so, by the way, before I design this flexible learning management system, I try to check first those published online education platform for me to know what are those standards that I need to consider also in developing my own or our own online education platform. So I try to check Google Classroom. Basically, you heard those that platform, G Suite, and also Edmodo. So I try to apply for demo accounts and try to explore the functionalities and things that good to have in designing our own platform. So, but not all features there are are good to implement in our platform simply because of our limitation here in the Philippines. because we have very limited when it comes to internet speed and gadgets, also computers that our students will be using. So I need to consider those concerns. Plus the fact that we need also to use some um, um, formats that are quite familiar with the students and parents, such as MP4 for movies and MP3 for listening sounds, music, and also easy to open files such as PDF files, Word document, and Excel file or PowerPoint presentation. So I need to get all those information, then I build my own. Then I heard, at the time I heard the secretary, Harry Roque, mentioning about flexible learning management system, wherein our Department of Education would like to use the television and radio in delivering their lessons. But the problem that I can see at the time was the synchronization of lessons for all schools throughout the Philippines. So I need to, from broad aspect of it, I need to see it like I need to personalize the instructions instead of using the television. Why not use the movie format or the MP3 format? Instead of using the radio, why not use an MP3 format for sounds? So in our areas of FLMS or Flexible Learning Management System, we have this MP4 format for our teachers who recorded their lessons on video. And that video also can be converted into MP3 format so that students can easily download that MP3 format, like even they're walking somewhere, going, cleaning their houses, they can actually listen to the voice of their teachers and still continue studying while they have their headset on their ears and playing the lessons in their mobile phone. Plus, we have this easy delivery of lesson using the e-learning resources. And our teachers were not limited on attaching different files. They can attach PDF files, they can attach or upload, like what I've said, Word document, Excel file, or PowerPoint presentation for the e-learning resources. So all these 5 formats are are available in our Harris FLMS. So our students can really expect that all this can be accessed in their own student portal. So what is the good thing with FLMS is like, instead, before, when we have our face-to-face classes, our students needs to go to their school and the teacher needs to deliver their lesson. But now we created this virtual classroom, which is the Harris FLMS, wherein we have a student portal for the student to access the lesson, and we have the teacher portal for the teachers to upload their lessons. So we can assure all the parents that all the lessons we have in Harris FLMS are all created and learned and made by our teachers. So from the Harris FLMS, the students and the teachers can meet as one. Plus, we have the video conferencing if the teachers needs to see their students. And I also discussed about the MP3 format. Plus, we have this online examination, online quizzes, and online grades, as well as messaging system. For example, if our students have some questions to their teachers, they can message their teachers, but not to the point that they will exchange chatting, because we don't like to consume most of their hours in chatting. One question, one answer, something like that. We have this also way of sending whatever the requirements of our teachers to their students, the students can easily attach the requirements, and with like 2 or 3 clicks, they can send the requirements to their teachers. That easy. The students don't need to ask for the email address of their teachers. From the FLMS itself, they can attach the requirements and send it directly to their teachers. And with the FLMS, because it's flexible, once the students already access the lesson, they can just disconnect from the internet. So even our students, our parents are using postpaid internet or prepaid internet. They can use all those connection, because flexible learning management system of Harris don't require you to have like a high speed internet connection for you to access the lessons of Harris. And also, this one thing that the new normal really imposed us to have. We have the backtracking of lesson. If before, like what I've said with the different orientations, no, that we did with parents and students, if before, for example, today is Tuesday, before we cannot ask our teachers to, teacher, can you please repeat your lesson from last week, Friday? We cannot do that before. But with the new normal in education, we can actually backtrack lesson from the platform itself. They can search from the dates. Then from that date, all the lessons, past lessons can be viewed again and reviewed again by our students. So backtracking lesson is very useful in this new normal in education. Plus, of
All right.
course, the secure. Okay, last one, because we are also, we also concerned with the security of our students. So in video conferencing, we will be creating email addresses to all students for them to use, just to secure their connection and connectivity in doing video conferencing. So all of these features are in Harris FLMS. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Villena. I like the fact that you mentioned about backtracking. We have to realize that in these conditions, in the scenario that we are in, the students will really have to um, take charge of the learning, the pacing even of the learning. And so it's important that we have this feature. They can always go back to the lessons and maybe review whatever lessons were not so clear to them, for example, or even for the sake of review. And I like the fact that you highlighted access. One of the concerns of parents, of course, is what if our connectivity is intermittent? We have, or some people would not have enough money, for example, for a good internet connection. So I think this FLMS giving access to students, even with a very low bandwidth, for example, of their regarding their connectivity, I think that would be good news to our parents. And would like to ask this time our teachers how they have been preparing for this transition to flexible learning management system, our blended learning management system. Would like to call first the call on the dean for academic affairs, Dr. Ruby Leia Leasing. Ma'am, how are we transitioning from the face-to-face to virtual classrooms, and with the use of this flexible learning management system? We have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Sir Rafi. Um, we've been doing a lot of preparations for this new modality of learning. We are so used to face-to-face. Harris is one of the colleges or institutions who's not used to doing online learning. This is new to all of us. But then we are very thankful to God because to the leadership of our president and during the time of the first time that we had this lockdown, some of us administrators and faculty members are quarantined at Harris Memorial College. We are living in the on campus. We have our faculty staff townhouse. So then we have meetings. We even looked at ourselves as the core group of Harris, thinking of how we can go on with this pandemic, so that in March, in April, we already started looking at different possibilities so that we can be prepared in this new normal. The first thing, before we had Pastor Owen to be our developer or designer for the FLMS, our faculty members and teachers are already attending webinars. These are new terms now. Even long before this FLMS, we are attending seminars offered or webinars offered by different organizations, different institutions like the Philippine Association for Teachers and Educators, from the Commission on Higher Education, even though we are from Rizal, that is part of the Calabar zone, we also attend webinars coming from different regions in the country, so that when Pastor Owen came and started this FLMS, somehow we have knowledge of what is this. And then the first webinar that was introduced in, which is really Harris Memorial College, when we had Sir Rafi and his son, who introduced to us these different modalities. So we started with having an idea of what to do. So like synchronous, asynchronous, and somewhat Dropbox. So we need with the kind we had those. And then after that, with the FLMS, when the Board of Trustees finally approved the recommendation that we will have this FLMS developed by Pastor Owen, that when our webinars and seminars started, we had different orientations on different levels. Like we started with teachers from preschool and elementary as a group, and then another group for the junior high school teachers, a group for senior high school teachers, group for college faculty members. So, and then we have also orientations with our students from different levels too, and then orientations with our parents, so that those were initiatives done so that everybody will be prepared for this new normal. And then we also developed some timelines, timeline when the faculty members are supposed to be starting to work on the contents of their lessons. We had also seminars on how to upload all these lessons that we are preparing. That practically we are very thankful, because we also have teachers and faculty members who are really dedicated, who are really committed to really giving their best to our students. And I know that that is our commitment to God as an institution, that Harris will continue to make a difference in the lives of the students who are entrusted in our care. And how do we do that? By really preparing, by really doing something that will make our students learn even during this time when we do not know when this pandemic will end. But we know that God is with us. We continue we continue to do Zoom meetings. Like, for example, for college faculty, we have monthly Zoom meetings for the same thing with our teachers, and we want to we really give support. We continue to connect with our teachers and with our faculty members so that they know that we are one in this endeavor. We are one, and that we know we are doing this not only for ourselves. We are doing this for Harris. I always say para sa Harris, and now it's for the love of God, for the love of Harris. Thank you.
All right. Well said, Dr. Ruby. We'd like to hear from Dr. Elvira Mercado. Ma'am, um, what preparations are being made in the basic education right now? Are we all set for the opening of classes?
Mr. Rafi, I don't know what happened to Dr. Beng, but I saw
Okay.
Roslyn, our officer in charge of the senior high school.
Yeah, maybe we can ask her.
One, and Sir Sai.
Okay.
And
Yeah. So
I could respond later.
okay. So we can ask representatives from the basic ed. So let's ask. We'll start with Miss Ballesteros, the OIC for the senior high. Miss Rosaline Ballesteros, how is everything in the senior high department, or maybe even uh, maybe elementary, if you have any idea? Miss Rosaline, andiyan ka po ba?
Mr. Rafi, I don't see her.
Sir, wala din
Okay.
po siya.
Oh,
Yung
are you
connection
Wala,
daw po
okay.
ay hindi
Roslyn?
maayos.
May connection problem. All right. Maybe we can have Mr. Sai to fill us in with some information. Sir Sai, Dulay, you're one of the pillars from the senior high school. Sir, can you share to the panel and to our audience what sort of preparation is being made and how ready are we for the opening of classes? Because we're going to be using flexible management, learning management system. Sir?
Good evening, everyone.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello,
Sir,
good evening.
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. We have been through with the guidelines using the MELC provided by the Department of Education to guide us for our contents po. So meron na rin po kaming ginawang schedules. So these schedules has been posted and given to our teachers as well. So we eventually have 2 subjects per day for the 8 subjects per class. And then I think the crucial part is yung tinatawag po nating technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge of our teachers. The crucial part there, or the challenge that comes with teachers, is how to use the technology. So our teachers also attended different webinars on how to use the technology. Ang problem lang po is our teachers sometimes are overwhelmed with the technology. Hindi natin alam anong technology yung gagamitin. So,
yeah, everyone is. Yeah.
Yes. Yun nga po. So I think the key there is mastering our content. If a teacher masters his or her content, alam niya kung paano po i-deliver ito sa mga students natin. And therefore, our teachers also, yung subjects po na hawak nila, yun po talaga yung specialization nila during their undergrads and even in their masters. Kaya we can make sure na meron na mastery of contents. Kasi yun po yung pinaka-key. So we don't focus more on what technology to use. We have the elements. Kumbaga, we have the simplicity of it. So we don't make it complicated. Kaya yung mga estudyante natin, even we are not there face-to-face, so as if that we are there guiding them. Example is learning module, for example. yung learning modules pa natin, everything is provided as if the teacher is talking to the student, and therefore the student can eventually follow the learning module as their guide for learning. So far, yun po yung mga preparations po na ginawa namin sa senior high school.
Mhm. So parang sinasabi mo, Sir Sai, ang direction ay, okay, we have to make sure we have the content and we master the content. Kasi yun yung simula, di ba? That's the framework. And then susunod na lang yung use of technology, because eventually everyone we would understand. We understand that all of us will transition, will have some kind of sometimes struggles, but tama ka, I think you're right when you said if you know your subject matter, madali na yung technology. Yeah, besides, andiyan na yan, na-train na tayo, na-train na yung mga teachers. So all you have to do is make use of the system, the portal, andiyan yan, centralized and everything. Basta ready yung material mo, and we are able to service everyone, kumbaga. Tama ba yan, sir?
Yes po. There is actually a variety of technology out there, applications out there. Pero hindi po natin dapat ipasok lahat sa ating learning content. I mean, we have to make our materials simple as possible, not to make it complicated. Because the technology should aid in learning the content easily. Baka po yung technology pa mismo ang maging
hindrance. All right. Tama yan. The technology should be our partner. No, it's the means for us to deliver the content. So, ang maganda, I think what I heard from our developer is that he would always be available in case there would be, of course, nothing here in this world is perfect, and I'm sure even in my own experience, we had some glitches with our own learning management system. That's why, that's what I've heard. Our developer is gonna be available all the time. So, ewan ko lang, pwedeng madaling araw, 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'm sure he would be available to answer the questions,
You can try,
or
sir. You can try.
on any alternatives naman, I think he would give you advice. He will give us advice as to what to do. But definitely everything will be in place. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You can try to message me during around 1 a.m. If I reply, that means I'm still awake.
Okay. So, narinig niyo yun, hindi galing sa akin. All right. So, you owe Sir Owen Starbucks. Yes. Pag ganon, pag madaling araw. So, we have the FLMS. The teachers have been trained, and they're continuing on training, and they're preparing and getting ready for the opening of classes. The good thing about this system is if something is missed, pwedeng habulin, di ba? Pwedeng habulin ng teacher, pwedeng habulin ng bata kasi nga online. Unlike pag umabsent, for example, absent sila sa face-to-face, wala na, di ba? But the beauty of this system now is that kung may na-miss ako, may na-miss ang estudyante or even teacher, na late siyang konti, pwedeng ihabol, di ba? Parang ganon. Kaya nga, I think this is the good thing about the system we have. It's flexible. I think that's one aspect of the flexibility. Okay, at this time, let me ask sa pinakabata, si Miss Jenna Lee, preschool, you're the preschool teacher, Miss Jenna Lee Caleja. So yung mga bata, dapat interactive, right? They have to be moving all the time. Meron silang, di ba, may circle time, may drawing time and everything. How are you going to address the particular needs of students in the preschool ngayong gagamit tayo ng virtual classroom o gagamit tayo ng flexible learning management system? What is the plan?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po. Actually po, napakahirap. Napakahirap
Pero
po sa
kaya.
part ng pinakabatang gawin ang virtual or online learning. Tulad nga po ng sinabi nyo. Pero we are preparing. No po, nagpe-prepare kami at ginagawa po, ako personally, ginagawa ko yung best ko para magawa kung ano yung ginagawa sa face-to-face ay pwede siyang dalhin doon sa online learning. Doon nagta-try ng ibang mga mga videos or yung ako po mismo i-video, ilalagay doon at sinisikap din po kung ano yung ginagawa sa loob ng classroom katulad ng circle time ay gagawin din po siya doon sa
Pwede mo kaming bigyan ng parang sneak preview. Ano yung alternative ng circle time, for example, ngayong your students will not be there in the classroom. Paano nila gagawin yun?
Kung sa virtual conferencing po, sabayan po nila ako.
Okay.
Nandoon po, nakikita po ko tulad po nito, kakanta ako, kakanta din po
Kakanta din
kayo kung
sila.
kayo ang mga estudyante ko. Kung offline
Alright.
naman po ito, doon sa aking video, kumakanta po ako with action. So at habang pinapanood po, sasabayan po nila yung song na kinakanta ko. At the
Alright. So
same time
meron kang option ng synchronous and asynchronous. So your attempt muna ay synchronous, but then it will be available later on for those who can't make it during the synchronous lessons. Tama?
Yes po. Yes po. At malaking part po doon, friends. Last time po nag-try ako, nag-invite ako ng ilang parents, nandiyan si Dr. Nat, nandiyan si Miss Rabadon. Tinry pong mag-virtual. Ang hirap po, pero alam ko
kaya.
pong possible siya. Possible po siya with guidance of the parents.
Ang
At
tawag
malaki
nila
pong
ang tawag nila dito parang yung nanganganay, birth pains, no? Parang birth pains kasi mag-a-adjust ka pa because we didn't do this before, di ba?
Opo.
But then, as you keep on doing it, masasanay din ng mga bata. Ngayon, sanay na lahat sa Zoom, di ba? Sanay na lahat na, okay, plug mo lang yung earphones mo and then you have your own smartphone or your laptop. Okay na, ready na, nasanay na rin tayo. Of course, dito pumapasok yung role ng parents. Ikaw, you're teaching, siguro this is my last question. Maliliit yung mga bata sa preschool, di ba? Hanggang siguro grade 1, grade 2. So, I'm sure nakikita mo yung big role ng parents in the education of their kids, especially at this time na nasa bahay yung mga bata. So, how is the partnership? Are you or have you started talking to parents, for example, or meron ka ng mga ideas anong gagawin para yung pinaplano mo for the kids in a typical classroom, mangyayari. It will happen in their own homes with the help of their parents. How will that become a reality, Teacher Janely?
Yung mga preparations ko pong ginagawa, halimbawa sa mga materials, so i-coordinate ko po ito sa mga parents. Kailangan po maging open ang communication. Kung dati po ako yung nagpe-prepare ng mga materials, this time po kasama ko silang nagpe-prepare ng materials. Para po bago magsimula yung klase, lahat ng materials na kailangan ng lesson, nandoon na po at i-assist po siya ng parent or ng guardian para po mag-participate siya doon sa lesson na gagawin namin for that day.
So, ang daming teachers ngayon. Si teacher, ang main teacher, and then the parents, kung 10 yan or 15, you have 15 assistant teachers.
Yes
Mas
po.
masaya, no? Mas masaya ngayon kasi we have so many, di ba? The more, sabi nga nila, the merrier. So, yeah. Parang meron kang extension sa bahay. Right? That's good to hear. Now, we'd like to thank you, teacher. We'd like to talk to Juliana Isabel at this time. Thank you. We'd like to talk to Juliana. She's an incoming grade 9 student. Juliana, are you there? Okay, we'd like to see you. And I have a question for you. Juliana?
Yes po. Good evening po.
Hi, Juliana. Okay. You've stayed with Harris for all these years, right?
Yes po.
Now, aside from the things that were mentioned kanina by the parents that they appreciate about Harris, ikaw naman, on the perspective of a student, considering that, okay, I will not be really going to Harris, the physical Harris. I'll be at home. And I know malaki ang role. Your parents had a big role in regarding choice of education. But I'd like to hear from you as a student. Um, what is it that always draws you, if I may use that, draws you to Harris and study at Harris Memorial College?
Um, ever since we moved here in Rizal, I was an incoming grade 2 student.
Okay.
Kasi galing po kami from Ilocos. So, Harris instantly became my second home, you know.
Mhm. Why was that?
It helped me, it helped me enhance my skills and develop abilities that I didn't know I have. The school's community played a big role in molding me not only as a model student but also as a person spiritually. I think that is why I chose Harry's. It is because I already have trust in their educators, in their education, and the school itself.
So trust is very important. Kasi if you have the trust, you'd be comfortable. You know that you can always approach your teachers, the faculty, etc., the staff, and the environment itself. Right? You said you were molded. You develop your skills at Harry's. But now, you think you'll be ready for this new normal? You'll be ready to study on your own. You'll be making your
Online.
own, your own schedule, and then learning will be student centered, meaning to say, yeah, teachers will be teaching at a given time, but most of it, it's gonna be your call, di ba? Gagawin mo lahat. Maybe your parents will assist, but definitely the pacing, it will come from you. You think it will be hard?
Well, actually, to be honest, at first, I wasn't really in favor of this online or blended way of learning.
Mhm.
First, because personally, I think it really isn't that effective for me. Yet, I soon realized that everyone has been doing their part, and schools prepared so much to give us, their students, the quality education despite the adjustments. And we should also keep in mind that the students are not the only one adjusting, but also the whole community. In
Mhm.
coping up, our parents are a big help by monitoring their children's studying routine and letting them know that they're always available whenever there are questions. Plus, maximizing the internet's educational use is also a big help.
All right. Um, I like the fact that you mentioned everyone is adjusting. Everyone is, have has done their part to deliver what should be delivered to the students. So it's not gonna be easy for everyone, but
Yes.
at least we have an alternative, right? Instead of sabi kanina ni Mr. Pajardo, instead of just being idle, not doing anything like paikot-ikot lang dyan and drawing and everything. Of course, that's a skill, but I mean, if our students, all students like you, are engaged in online learning, even if it's gonna be challenging, I think it's worth the challenge and even the
Yes.
pains, the struggles, right? Um, what about, for example, exams? You think it is if you take an exam or a quiz using online portal or platform, wouldn't it be more difficult on the part of students? What do you think?
Well, I mean, when we were still at school last year, when we had exams, there were teachers who help us whenever we have questions or whether we don't understand the question in the paper. But right now, yes, it will be challenging, but it might be a good way to challenge ourselves, maybe. And
Okay, stretch yourself a little bit more.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's good. Good to hear from you. If Miss, thank you very much. If Miss Jean is here, I have a question for Miss Jean Gike or Hike from junior high school. Teacher Jean, are you here
Yes,
with us?
sir. I'm
All right,
here.
Miss Jean. Ang question ko sa'yo is, pag magbibigay ng assignments, okay lang, assignment kasi yon, di ba? Like writing assignments or solutions to some problems, etc., mathematical formula, etc. And sometimes I know parents would assist, would help their children. That's acceptable. That's normal. However, for example, when we give under this new normal situation, give major exams, for example, papaano natin magaguarantee kaya somehow yung integrity ng exam during exam period? How do we know, for example, if they take the exam asynchronously uh, during at their own, preferred schedule, hindi yung time na set mo, for example, and it's not synchronous, you don't see them. Uh, ano yung plan mo? What is our plan so that the integrity of the exam is protected? In other words, there won't be any cheating, or at least it's minimized.
Oh, honestly po, that is a very hard question as of now. Kasi yan pa po ay pinag-iisipan po namin. Pero sa ngayon po, meron po tayong ready sa ating FLMS, which is yung multiple choice. Meron na rin tayong identification. And later on, meron din pong idadagdag pa. May mga, actually kakakausap nga lang namin ng ibang mga teachers. May mga iba na nag-iisip through essay, may mga iba na through performance. Kasi hindi naman po lahat ng subjects natin or discipline requires written exam. May mga iba na practical. Like halimbawa po sa PE, magsasubmit po sila ng dance performance, ganon. Sa TLE, demonstration na through video. Siguro po, yung iba pa po like major subjects, katulad po ng math. Yun po yung challenging ngayon sa mga teachers. Ano po yung gagawin namin na mapanatili yung integrity. Pero ang isa po doon, panghahawakan po namin yung sinabi ni Juliana na matitest yung kanilang honesty dito.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pero yun po ay isa pa sa ngayon ay pinag-aaralan at pinag-iisipan namin how to do it.
It's possible naman, ano? In my experience during this mid-year at saka yung the remainder of the semester, parang it became natural na lang to do parang one-on-one coaching because I teach writing. So ang nangyari is, yeah, they will write all at the same time you see them, for example, kasi synchronous yun, for a synchronous session. And then, dahil writing ito, performance, so you can guide them, right? So you have the old write-up, for example, the old writing, and then you guide them with, kung anong dapat i-correct sa kanilang essay, for example, like if it's an expository writing, you will guide them, you'll answer their questions. Nagiging ano na siya, nagiging parang coaching. Parang one-on-one, yeah, you'll give them a few minutes, maybe sabay-sabay, like 5 minutes after the 5 minutes for one student or 10 minutes. Meron silang sariling schedule, etc. So, in my experience, naging ano na lang siya, parang natural na ganon. And so, nabantayan mo rin yung integrity ng exam. So, alam mo na okay, ito yung dating performance niya. So, mako-compare mo sa susunod na gagawin niya. I think, ganon din ang mangyayari sa inyo. You will develop a system. No? Kasi, once you're there, kasi tayo, teachers tayo, once you're on board, alam mo na kung anong gagawin mo. Di ba? May FLMS dyan, meron ka nang naka-ready dyan, but once you're on board, you tried something and maybe it wasn't really working well, you'll try another until you perfect the system. Kasi nga, at this time, wala pa tayong perfect system until, di ba? Para siyang swimming. You know, you learn to swim and you float. At first, bababa pa, di ba? Ganun naman ang teacher. So, I think that can be done, right? So tayo mga teachers will be able to manage and we will be ready for the opening of classes. Right?
Sir Rafi?
Yes, sir.
Since ako yung gumawa nung quizzes, no, just to be clear, when I design and when I code the quizzes, the identification and the multiple choice, it never came into my mind to have any doubt to our students that they will cheat. Siyempre po, hindi lang ako developer. Pastor din ako. So, I used to trust people and naniniwala ako na since quizzes here is online, they were under pressure, they will not think of anything to cheat, you know, because they have everything. They have the e-learning resources, they have everything actually. So, but with other quizzes and other examinations, I think it depending on how creativity actually our teachers in doing other examination and doing other quizzes. And with that, I think yung Harris faculty are very much creative in doing such thing. So again, yung quizzes natin, those were in place, not thinking of our students will be cheating, because I totally believe that, you know, they were good students and they will not do that.
All right.
Mr. Rafi, can I add?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. With the Harris FLMS, in terms of type of quizzes and exam, which is objective, and I don't think there would be a place for students to commit dishonesty because that is synchronous. And of course, the teachers will give announcement in advance for students to be prepared to take the exam using the Harris FLMS. We also about teacher Jean is correct. It depends upon the nature of the subjects. Like for example, if it is TLE, and the appropriate type of exam there is demonstration.
Si Teacher
So, at home, in the house, then cooking could be done. Actually, okay? And then if it is PE, so the teacher would it could be synchronous, meaning there is a real-time interaction between the teacher and the students. So you follow me with the movements, if it is dance or whatever movement, body movements. But if there is a need for performance in PE, with the teacher showing what the students should learn, and the students would record their performance and then send it to the teacher for grading. And other ways that we have been talking about in terms of exam to really help the students not suck themselves to cheating. So the kind of questions asked would really help the students think and not the parents think for themselves. Meaning application, because the higher level of learning is creating, according
creating
to those, creating na yon. Demonstration, something, because the curriculum of DepEd is content standard and performance standards. So that is what we ensure here in Harris. Is that correct, Juliana? Are you there? Did you hear me, Juliana?
Yes, po.
Yeah. So it depends upon the nature of subject. And we believe, because our teachers are experts, after I speak, maybe I could request Sir Sai in terms of science, because parents need to hear this. And even the wider public has to hear, has to know what we offer and what we will do. Okay? So now, another thing, there will be orientation for students. One of the things that will be discussed is on academic policies. So there are still boundaries. So students are bound by academic policies. So if there will be dishonesty in terms of examination or assignments or whatever, that will be dealt with. Because in Harris, we only do not desire in every student excellence in education. First and foremost, excellence in character. And dishonesty is part of character development. That is very important to Harris Memorial College, and that is what we inculcate with the students through the modeling of the teachers. I think if you would allow, Sir Sai, I would, what kind of exam would you give so that the students would be prevented from being enticed to cheating?
Sir Sai.
Hello po. Yes.
Yeah.
So we are talking
So how
about
do
the
we
validity
guarantee?
and reliability of the summative assessment that we give there. Actually, sa senior high school po, kasi ang tinatarget po natin is yung HOTS higher order thinking skills po.
Yeah.
We can do the objective type, which is provided by the FLMS. I appreciate Pastor Owen for developing such objective. Yes, kasi I think scheduled po yun. Kapag scheduled po yun, synchronous po yun, sabay-sabay po sila mag-take ng quiz or examinations per se. So, we can ensure na wala pong kopyahan doon. Ako po, ginagawa ko po, even sa face-to-face before, I have the set A, set B, and set C of tests.
Yeah.
Kasi even sa face-to-face, meron din pong mga kopyahan po dyan. So, yung mga students ko, sanay sila na gumagawa ko ng different sets of exams. Pero that is an extra mile for the teacher kasi magti-triple work po siya. Pangalawa po, yung, halimbawa for the English, you can give different topics to work on. Halimbawa, yung this group of students, they will deal with topic 1, another group of students will deal with topic 2, and topic 3, etc. Para lang po hindi pare-pareho yung gagawin nila. Pero I think yung pinaka-practical po is to give them performance type of
creation. So creating. Demonstration.
Sa science po kasi, marami po kami experiments. So, I give them activity sheets. They have the procedure there, ano yung objective, ano yung mga materials, and to make sure the materials are accessible to the environment. Yung hindi na po nila kailangang bumili o pumunta ng malayong lugar para mahanap. Then, they just have to give me an output. So, yung output po nila, yun po yung isa sa mga i-rate ko. So, kung A, B, or C yung rate ng mga output po nila. Pangalawa po is yung procedure. Maybe they could have the i-video nila kung paano nila ginawa yung experiment para masigurado po na sila talaga ang gumawa ng experiment. So, isa po yun. Pangalawa po yun sa i-rate ko. And then, pwede rin po kasi siyang peer. So, they can work through Google Docs or meron po ganun applications that we can use na kahit magkakalayo po sila, they can collaborate. So, yun po. Halimbawa, sa music, they have to be singing a choir piece that ginawa na nagagawa po natin yan. So, they will just have to record themselves through a video and then pagsasama-samahin. So, marami pong paraan para ma-ensure natin yung validity and reliability ng mga exams natin and yung mga assessment po natin. Formative man o something assessment.
All right. Well said, Sir Sai.
Hi sir. Can I have something?
Yes, Sir Pajardo. Sure.
With regards to the way of exam or how the students will have or take it, before the school year starts, actually, the parents will be playing a vital part. Number one, and for sure, it will be up to the parents to not tolerate such character na alam naman nila na may mali. So I believe all parents will love to see to study to their students to study hard instead of tolerating na ganito ganyan. So I believe the parents also will be the one to to play a very important role, lalo na sa ganitong school year na parating sa atin. I'm speaking on behalf of the parents and also na naging issue yan. I love reading articles, and one of the articles na nabasa ko is paano daw mamomonitor yung bata, occasion ganito, sa ganyan. So that is one of the challenges of the school. But I believe in Harris, they were being prepared, and alam na po naman na mamomonitor nila the real results of the real results of exams na makukuha ng mga bata. So, ganun ka-importante at ganun din kahirap ngayon yung magiging monitoring namin sa mga anak namin.
Dalawa yung trabaho niyo, sir. You have two jobs, no?
Yes,
That
yes.
being a
definitely.
parent and partner educator. You're also going to be an educator at home because you're going to be educating your children in terms of character. That's part of the formation din, di ba? And then, of course, the content that is required of them, of course, ando dun kayo because everyone is at home, so you're more involved. And I think that's a good thing, right? Diba? Parents are more involved now in the education of their children. They can monitor.
Yes.
And everyone, many are working at home. So in a way, I think that's a blessing in disguise. And I agree with you. And I agree with you that parents, I mean, in their right mind, would tolerate, dishonesty. I think
yes.
it happens if they're not watching, maybe if ever it happens. But I mean, if you're a parent, you would not tolerate such a thing.
Yes.
The reason why I raise that issue is because it's a reality. It happens even for college students and even graduate students. But it's a good thing that ando dun yung direction natin. We're headed towards that direction. Okay. Tayo, it's non-negotiable. No cheating. No such things like that. Thank you, Mr.
Rafi,
Pardo.
Sir Rafi.
Yeah, I think I heard Sir Owen.
Yeah, just want to add, I forgot to mention that in actually using the access or the credential of the students, even the parents can actually simultaneously access the student portal at once. So while the students were doing their thing in their student portal, the parents can also simultaneously access the account of the students to monitor what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. So they can see if they're answering the questions or not, or if they're taking long. So they can warn if ever their kids. Yeah. Oh, okay, you're taking long, or you're going somewhere, navigating somewhere. Pwedeng ganun.
Yes.
They can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
I tried to look on the system of FLMS, and I noticed there was a video conferencing. So therefore, there will be interaction between the students and the teachers also. So it's a good thing. I tried to look on it. Thank you, Ma'am Christy, for providing me the link also. So I tried to browse it, and I noticed there were good. I think the school is ready. There were announcements. There were squeezes of schedule. There were class conferences, which is good. Hindi na sila mahirapan whether to go on another link. They just have to log in onto it with the teacher's advice. So even the assignments, there were send messages to the teacher. So maganda. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm very excited.
Yes, sir.
May I add?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. That's the beauty and the uniqueness of the Harris FLMS. We can ensure the integrity because parents could access, like what Pastor Owen has said. The parents could access and monitor the learning of their children. If their children log in, so there is attendance. If not, then the teacher can message the parent saying, ma'am, sir, your son, your daughter failed to see the lesson for the day. May I know the reason why? So there is quick communication. So I think this is the beauty and the uniqueness of the Harris FLMS because this is exclusively designed and developed for Harris Memorial College. In Harris, we only give the best. Best kind of education. Character formation and quality education that is ensured even during the pandemic. And so we have this Harris FLMS. Okay, so I think the mindset of the parents would be at peace because they would be assured that their children will continue learning because through Harris FLMS, it's more of self-directed, self-initiated, self-guided. Of course, with the pushing and with the nudging of the parents gently. So the students would continue learning with fun, like what Miss Wina has said, because learning should be fun, and at the same time, they learn very well. So that's God's gift to Harris because, and that is also God's gift to Harris for our students and for you, our dear parents.
Okay.
Just to add na lang, Sir Rafi, short na lang. No?
Sure.
For example, the parents would like to know kung nag-login ba yung kanilang estudyante. Yes, we can track their logins, but we can also track from different links they went through. So we can tell to the parents straight na they really did go to the different places in FLMS, not just to, they went in and log in, then they already log out. So we have the history, we have the logs of your students just for us to know kung talagang ginawa nila yung kanilang task for that day. So if the parents are in doubt, we can provide those logs to you.
Yeah, like for example, kung binasa niya ba yung assigned reading for the day, kung in-answer. So the history will be there and parents will be able to find out. Right?
Yes.
Also, maganda din siya. Actually, it's a good system kasi if the parents will be provided a different access for monitoring of the children. Like me, I'm working. So while at work, if makita ko there will be a message from the teacher or I could see the activity na ginagawa ng bata, I could also monitor while I'm working. So it's good. Maganda rin. There is a communication between also the parents and the children.
And actually, Sir Noel, pag nag-post ng examination or quizzes yung ating teacher, 7 days before the examinations, it will be appeared in the announcement.
Oh, good.
So hindi mo miss ng estudyante yung ating quizzes or examination.
So para mag-exam na rin yung parents kasi may reminder, no?
May reminder, but you cannot really take it in advance. You have to wait for the right day.
Yeah, scheduled. Scheduled.
Sorry, sir. Nice try.
Yeah, but we understand what Sir Pardo is saying. Now, okay, parents want to be proactive and they want to be there, reminding their kids not to miss important schedules like exams, quizzes, etc.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. That's my point.
All right. Okay. I think I covered a number of important questions at this time. So I'd like to open the floor for any questions from the panel, even from the audience who are watching right now. Do you have any questions that you would like the panel members of the panel to answer, or maybe from among the group? Okay, maybe there are some questions that need to be raised. This is the time.
Yeah,
all right.
Mr. Rafi, if I may ask this question to Dr. Dulce Santos, a mother.
Ma'am, you're muted.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to throw this question to Dr. Dulce Santos, who is in charge of the ALS program of the schools division in Pasig City, and also the MTB, MLE of the division. You know what, Ma'am Dulce, I'm so elated and grateful because you continue to send your child to Harris. What made you decide to continue sending your child to Harris?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate the faculty and staff of Harris. Actually, before I enrolled my child, I have Cassandra Shane will be staying there for as grade 9 for the school year. So I asked her if she wants to transfer to public school because I am from a public school. And then she answered me, no, she doesn't want to transfer to public school actually. So I went personally to Harris to know what kind of modality of teaching you will be used in the coming school year as we move towards the new normal. So I am so happy to know that you'll be using the online because you are in the private school and most of your learners have the access to internet. However, though we have the internet, the problem is the connection, no? Just like we are having today. So I would like to mention also that I chose to remain my child in Harris because of the best teaching she had during her previous years. I had my second daughter who graduated there for senior high school. She took ABM, no? But unfortunately they were not able to have their graduation, but it doesn't matter as long as a parent also I am doing my best to give the best education I can for my children, and I don't have to worry, just like the other parents who told you before. The best education I could share with you is from Harris also, and that's through the leadership of a Christian of valued education teachers and leaders po. Kaya po, that will remain. My daughter will stay in Harris until she finish siguro po ng grade 10 or even for senior high school. I've been at Harris for 6 years together with my nephew also.
All right.
So, mananatili po sa Harris talaga. Dahil po yun sa best practices, you are serving with your learners, God-centered, and also the teachers. They have their vision of integrating values towards the development of our children. So I've been also, if I may just add lang po, I had an experience po with Harris talaga. I served as senior high school president last year and then before po for junior high school. So maraming salamat po, and I also hosted some events in your school and I treasure those moments with your great speakers po, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Ang dami niyong contributions sa Harris, and I'm sure the community appreciates your contribution. And of course, as a parent, every parent will have a contribution. Hindi lang in your capacity now as you're wearing so many hats, di ho ba? So I'm sure coming from a parent like you na ganin yung testimonial niyo about Harris, it's an assurance, di ba? For the parents and even to teachers who are teaching. Okay, so this is coming from one of the parents, so it makes us gives us some kind of parang affirmation. Okay, that we're doing our best, or we're doing our part. We thank you so much, Dr. Dulce Santos, for your contributions to the school. Miss Mariel, I think is yes, ma'am.
Okay, this question is meant for the beautiful teacher in the elementary, Teacher Mariel.
Yeah, she's
Teacher Mariel,
available
what
now.
makes you excited to start teaching and guiding the students' learning in the new
Say hi. Say hi. Hi, teacher.
Hello,
Hi, teacher.
Nisha. Oh,
Hello
your
po,
teacher is
good evening
there.
po.
Teacher Mariel. Teacher
Hi,
Mariel.
Nisha is
Nisha.
listening to you, teacher.
Hi, Nisha.
Teacher Mariel, did you get my question?
Yes po, yes po. Looking forward po actually to teaching in this new modality kasi bago po to sa akin. And bago sa ating lahat, even for the students nga po, katulad ng sinasabi kanina. And I think mas excited ako for the parents na magiging ka-teamwork, yung teamwork namin, mas ma-maximize kumbaga. Kasi before po, face-to-face, maganda na po yung ng parents ng Harris, pati ng teachers. So this time, I think mas mararamdaman yung presence ng and yung help ng parents sa pagtulong sa aming mga teachers on how we can help our children in learning kahit hindi na face-to-face. And excited din po for the students to learn kahit hindi na face-to-face, matututo pa rin sila in a different way naman. So makikita nila kami sa videos, ganyan, and through video conferencing. So very excited po.
All right. Anong mamimiss mo, teacher? What would you miss now that we won't be seeing our students face to face? What would you miss?
So tingin ko po yung pinaka-mamimiss ko yung interaction talaga during recess or break time. Yun po yung nakakamiss kasi wala na pong break time or lunch time sa schedule na ginawa. So yun po yung mga little interactions namin usually kahit pauwi or kakadating lang. Yun po yung pinaka-mamimiss kasi talaga yung building ng relationship. Hindi during lesson time pero parang off-cam na bonding ng mga teachers and ng estudyante. Yun po yung talagang nakakamiss.
Okay. Thank you. Well said, teacher. So we appreciate everyone who's present tonight. And if I haven't, I appreciate the president, no? Kasi I'm using my phone. My phone is very small, so I don't get to see everyone. So I appreciate the president helping me do my job tonight. All right, so I miss kanina si Dr. Santos and Miss Mariel. Hopefully I did not miss na anyone, no? Right now. Because we really intended that you guys share your thoughts about this new development at Harris and around us, around the world, around the Philippines. So if I did not miss anyone now, I think we can move forward to Q&A. We'll open the floor for questions from within the group and even from those who are watching right now. Okay, who would break the ice?
I'll just start with Sir Rafi.
All right, go ahead, sir.
The question is for to Pastor Rowan. Okay. Pastor, since you are the author or the creator of this system, if you would rate it to 1 to 10, 10 is the highest, the success of this system, how would you rate our FLMS project?
Well, sir, I would like to pick 8. 8.
8.
Yeah, 8.
Can you share us, sir, why 8?
Well, like what I've said, since this is like a customized system for Harris, if we hear any suggestion that is very much doable at present times, we don't mind to accommodate. Like for example, sir, when we do the orientation for parents, the parents actually suggested to have the announcements, and we did it. So, for make it like rate of 10, the parents and the teachers could actually help us if they have some more suggestion to be added in the system, if it's doable and if it's logical to add. I don't mind and we don't mind.
All right.
That's
so
good to hear, sir.
In other words, Sir Fajardo, the reason why 8 is given is because it's open. Maybe if that's the word, it's open for any more collaboration, maybe from the users, even from the parents. So it's open and it can accommodate a little bit more.
Actually, Sir Rafi, yun yung pinagkaiba ng Google Classroom, if I will be mentioning Google Classroom. With Google Classroom, the institution or the school needs to adjust. But with the FLMS of Harris, we don't mind to adjust. If it's really needed, for the students to be much more, for them to get their lessons, we will provide those features if it's really needed.
All
So we
right.
can adjust.
That's what I was saying kanina when I was talking to Miss Jean. So we would be able to, all of us, no, will be moving towards one direction, towards mastery of everything, not only content, but actually the use of the system. So we will all be able to navigate very well, and we will be able to use the system. And so if somewhere along the way something needs to be improved even more, as you were saying, why not? Okay. Or if an alternative would be much better, why not? So I think that's a good thing to remember, a good feature of this program, of platform that uh, the school is offering. So for that, we are grateful. The school is
Well,
grateful for your contribution.
that's the beauty of the interaction and cooperation of the faculty and teachers and the parents. Um, Ever since I enrolled my daughter, Harris has been very open for any suggestions that the parents is saying. So I think 8 would be the best rate for it, kasi we're just starting. So there's always a room for improvement. So that would be a good advice from the author to pastor and the teachers. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for answering.
All right. And the good thing about this is there would be a continuing dialogue, di ba? So parents can continue to dialogue with their teachers, or if students have concerns, they can even direct their concerns to their teachers, to the parents, whatever works best. I think this is the beauty of having a system like this. And as you said, Sir Fajardo, that the school is open to a continuing dialogue and like this. I guess that's very reassuring, no? Reassuring to
Yes, yes.
parents and those who are watching right now. So we have the FLMS in place, and we have the teachers readying for the opening of the school year. It's not ideal, but they're doing their best to prepare the content and adjust it according to the expectations of the system and of the new normal. And I'm sure we will be able to deliver. I'm sure we will be able to uh, provide what the students need and deserve, and who knows, we'll be able to even go beyond, right? As I said, as we continue to work towards the accomplishment of the delivery and all of these things that are related to the education of your children. I think itong ganitong partnership between parents and the school, I think it will go a long way, right?
And so
And
also let me add something, Sir Rafi. The good thing about this program is we have the developer and the creator through Pastor Owen. So definitely it would be a very busy school year for Pastor. So any glitches or any problems occur in the system, definitely Pastor is there to answer and help us for any assistance. Kasi hindi siya nanggaling kung kanino, hindi siya dinevelop kung kanino. It is pastor who created the system of the program. So definitely alam niyo yung pasikot-sikot ng system.
Yes, sir. Sabi ko nga before, sir, even right now, no, we're using Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. At some time, meron pa rin siyang problem.
Yes.
Nagkakaroon pa rin siya ng corrupted files for time to time.
Let me share this.
Yes, sir.
Sige, pastor. Okay.
And nung nagkaroon ako ng webinar sa mga public schools, because I would like to share this platform also to the public school, they were actually wishing na sana ito na lang yung gagamitin ng DepEd. But sad to say, because they were like zero collections. So hindi nila kayang mag-accommodate ng ganitong sistema. Katulad ng sinasabi ni Sir, since I'm here, no, and actually gising ako, sir, like siguro 16 hours to 18 hours a day. So you can assure me na taking care of this. And we have also people training teachers inside Harris. So you will be sure na hindi lang ako mag-isa ang nag-cater ng concerns ng teachers and also students.
Yes. Pastor, can I ask, do you have, to Pastor Owen, are you have a graduate of a web developer?
Sir, before po ako nag-enter into the ministry, ang original profession ko po ay systems developer po. Graduate po ako ng Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, major in Information Technology. I worked, sir, before as systems architect in the US, Singapore, and Thailand also, before I entered into the ministry, sir. So, yung ministry is my vocation. Being a programmer and system architect is my profession.
Okay. So, we are in good hands kay Pastor pala sa system natin.
Salamat, sir. Salamat po.
Kasi
Salamat.
I'll be sharing to everyone, if you notice the Smartmatic deal of the government during the elections, actually there were glitches, and the only person who were able to resolve this is the person on the representative from the system provider. Kaya ako rin natanong yon kasi in the FLMS, the developer is pastor, nandiyan siya to support. Hindi na tayo hihingi ng tulong to someone or call or dial in to anyone. At least nandiyan na kagad yung outright answer sa mga question natin. Kaya I asked Pastor, I just realized na siya rin pala yung developer. Sorry if I missed the orientation the last time. Pero I'm very happy na siya rin pala. So any concerns or clarifications during the upcoming school year, nandiyan siya to support. Kasi believe me, in our company, there were also systems. And there would always be glitches, there would be errors. And we're having a hard time calling the contact person who would assist us. If they would be assisting us, it would be around after 3 hours, 4 hours, or maybe late in the evening na. So, I'm very, very happy na nandiyan po pala si Pastor Nook to the program. Thank you, Pastor.
All right.
Mr. Rafi?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I would like to add, the Harris FLMS is like a SM with a condominium. It's a one-stop shop. So parents would be assured of the safety and security of your children while studying in Harris using the Harris FLMS. Okay, so you would have peace because it is like a one-stop shop. Everything you can find it there. So, Pastor Owen, you are not that generous in giving grades, but I would give you a 9 for that. I would give you a 10 because in US you can give like +10. If you got 100 perfect score, you will be given another +5, another +10 if you exceeded the expectation of the professor or teacher. But I will just rate our Harris FLMS a 9. Okay, so that's the uniqueness in that. Another thing, Harris is a small school, is a small college compared with university. Not many universities have their own learning management system. So this is the commitment of Harris Memorial College. We are committed to providing quality education, even in the midst of pandemic, to the Harris FLMS. Because the major concern of parents is the safety and security of their children. Tama po ba yun, mga parents?
Yes.
Thumbs up nga naman
Yes
po
po,
dyan.
yes, ma'am. You are on the right track.
So safety, check. All right. Quality, check.
Yeah,
right.
Dr. Nati, di ba?
I think one of my concerns, as a parent. So you have addressed the cognitive needs of our children, and other things. I think one of my concerns would be what is Harris' accommodation on the corporate gathering of children to meet their spiritual needs?
Yeah.
Will
Okay.
there be like in the in the traditional way you had chapel, but how about in this new normal?
Ma'am Christy, before you answer, can I answer first?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
ma'am,
Pastor.
you probably haven't tried to log in as a student in the student portal. Meron actually doon, ma'am, sa mismong dashboard ng estudyante. There's a portion there for chaplain window. Wherein yung ating chaplain, uh, we have this link. Meron siyang link, ma'am, to post their every week message to the student. So even the teachers and the students can actually watch spiritual messages from the chaplain. Plus, I believe the chaplain also will have this small group to all the students. So, but para hindi po ma-miss yung mga message ni chaplain, we have embedded the message actually in their own personal account. So each teachers, they can see the message from the chaplain.
Yes. In addition, I would like to request Dr. Ruby, because we look at the school calendar and there are regular spiritual forms of activities for our students. So that will be continued because, as I've said, character development, character formation, excellence in character is foremost in Harris Memorial College. Dr. Ruby may add some more, and maybe later I will add. Dr. Ruby?
Yes, Ma'am Christy. Opo. Included still in our academic calendar is a chapel service, although virtual. We at least have this once a month. And then for other group of students, we continue with our care group, small group ministries. And our chaplain has started developing this program together with our student leaders so that they can continue with these activities that are being done. So those are some of the initiatives that we are doing that we will still be continuing with this, although we know it's really difficult at this point in time. And earlier when you were asking what will you miss, Harris has a different culture of we can just go to our teachers, to the president, to the dean, to the uh, principal to share about maybe challenges in life. Uh, Although at this point we cannot do that because this is now virtual, but as teachers we continue to still connect with our students in terms of not only academically but also how they are doing in terms of their spiritual, emotional, social, and other aspects of development. You know, it's a
I
challenge,
will add
but
some more.
we'll continue to do that.
There will also be Christian emphasis event.
Yes, Christian
There is a
emphasis.
plan to hold the spiritual retreat virtual.
Virtual spiritual.
And as Pastor Owen has said, there will be a weekly video recording of messages, weekly Bible verses. And our chaplain in the person of Reverend Estelito Binuya is very creative, very engaging. He does not settle for a canned good that you can open. It's ready made. He always thinks of new things for the growth in faith, nurturing of faith of the students. And he mobilizes us teachers and our students in college. So you can be assured that the spiritual growth and nurturing of your children will continue under the leadership of Pastor Estelito Binuya, our chaplain.
All right. Well said. So the cognitive aspect is addressed, and that was emphasized in, I think, in the entirety of the program. Also, now we are told that the metacognitive, the character formation, is also given equal importance even under this new normal. So that's an assurance coming from the president and from the other officials of the school, and assurance to you, dear parents, and those of you who are watching. So it's not going to be ideal, but everything will be in place and the needs of the students will be addressed. And even the teachers, of course. And maybe parents, who knows, diba? Okay, so do we have more questions coming from you or maybe from our viewers at this time?
Hello po. Can I ask a question po?
All right, go ahead. Go ahead,
So
po, ma'am.
Okay, so actually po, I'm a member of the PTF or the Parent Teacher Fellowship, and in behalf of the organization, I just want to clear about yung sa parents' roles. So, what will be the role of parents to Harris for the school programs and for the non-physical activities, since there's no more face-to-face and there won't be any activities at school. So, we'll still be consulted to the plans and changes throughout the whole school year po ba?
All right, so we'll let the officials answer.
I
All
don't
right,
know
good
if
question. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I heard it right now, but I'll try this, Wina. If I understood, if I heard your question right, and you can correct me. In terms of participation of the parents and the PTF officers, is that what you're asking? Is that the one? And your role?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be still PTF. Actually, I think one good thing that is we are far physically, but we are near each other like this one, right? Despite our busyness, we can still look at each other now and hear each other and interact with each other. So it's not so it's always possible for the PTF to organize itself because you will still be our partners. So we could plan like we could continue with our kapihan, KKK, kapihan, kwentuhan, sayahan. Because in Harris, we do students, but we also provide learning opportunities for growth for parents professionally. Relationship with children, uh, the technology that really gets the attention of the students. So whatever topics are needed, that could be addressed, that could be planned, that could be worked out. And we always have Mr. Noel from UMC TV like this one. We could make this connection. Actually, we are more closer now because we could see each other. Now, there will be orientation for parents also in terms of academic policies because there are new students. So there are scheduled orientations for basic education students, for basic education parents. And you will be informed of that. Right? And so, in terms of other co-curricular activities, we will be partners because we will continue with that. Like if you were able to watch very interesting webinar on hashtag Harris Cares, mental health and psychosocial support. Now, if you were not able to see that, you can view the Harris FB. Everything is in there. If you miss anything, you go there. So that is the beauty. It's 24/7 like the FLMS. Because life goes on. We need to continue growing and as partners with you parents, PTF officers, and Harris Memorial College.
Thank you. Thank you po,
All
ma'am.
right. All right. So the partnership will still be there. So in other words, the PTF can still be very active, especially now that interaction is access will not be a problem. You know, you can just contact the school or the school can contact you maybe anytime. And if there are things to address and the participation of the PTF is needed, I think it's much easier now because of the technology, right? Okay. Are there any more questions before I turn over the floor to the president?
Uh, Baka daw kasi magkaroon ng online dance presentation yung mga PTF officers.
Oh, yes. We can do that. We need to have fun. Mr. Rafi, I will add some more. I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
the
Go
parents
ahead.
will be happy hearing what I will say. If ever you have heard it, and I repeat it. In the school fees, there are items under miscellaneous fees that are retained. Like for example, guidance fee. Because we believe with the effects of pandemic, the more your children, our students, need the psychological, emotional support. The students could easily reach out to these teachers, and the teachers could easily reach out to the student through the service LMS. Okay, so when your child or children experience some kind of difficulty, relationship with siblings, relationship with parents, problem with studies, friendship or whatever, our guidance counselor, our guidance officer is ready, and we are ready to help your children. Another, we have an online medical consultations. So if your child has a problem with health, you can reach out, you can contact our physician, available every Tuesday from 1 to 7 p.m., a pediatrician. We also have a full-time nurse, registered nurse. So if your son or daughter has a health problem, please contact our nurse. And our nurse will contact our physician. Or you can go directly to to our physician on the scheduled clinic for the consultation free, because that is part of the miscellaneous fees, and also give you prescription and advices, because Harris cares. Hashtag Harris cares, not only academically, but emotionally, spiritually, and physically, health-wise. So everything will continue for the sake of your children.
Oh, Ma'am Christy, regarding sa medical consultation, so we will be having a online doctor somehow or nurse
Yeah.
who would accommodate some
Yes.
queries with regards to.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So the number will be given to us for any immediate assistance.
Yeah, actually, in my letters, I have, was that you, Dr. Nati? You received several letters. Who mentioned that? You read
Yeah, it's
my
Dr.
letter.
Nats. Yeah.
The information was there. Even the contact number of our nurse, you can reach them out. So it's through text messaging, through messenger, through cell phone, 24/7 you can reach out.
Okay, that's good to hear, ma'am.
Oo.
Okay. So I think we have everything covered. If there are no more questions, 5, 4, 3.
May tanong pa po ako. If
Meron
I may
pa.
just
Okay,
ask
okay, Dr.
also,
Santos,
for the
bawi
last
kayo.
time po.
Yes, ma'am, of
I
course.
just
Go ahead.
remember, may I know, Ma'am Christy, if you will still be using the modules, the modular type or the modality in this new normal?
I'm sorry, Dr. Dulce. I wasn't able to hear the question.
There a need for Harris learners to use the modules?
Oh, okay. Like for example, what Sir Sai has said, it depends upon the nature of the subject. Sir Sai will be using module. But one thing that is sure, in the daily lesson for a particular subject, the lesson prepared by the teacher is guided by the MELC. Now, there will be time that the students need to perform something with hard copies of uh, learning materials, and we have a drop box at gate 1 here in Harris. So the teachers would inform the parents that they will pick up some e-learning, some learning materials for students to perform. But because everything will be in the FLMS, that is there almost complete. But if there's need for materials, then that will be provided.
Okay po. Good to know that. Because I have the one I told you before po, for the senior high school.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma'am Christy.
Welcome po.
All right. So we have that question answered. Any more from the panel or maybe our viewers? All right. So
Sir Rafi,
Elton,
one last very, very important. My daughter
okay.
would like to ask a question. Go.
Okay, there's a question from one of our students.
From Nisha, sir.
Nisha, okay. Nisha,
Okay,
what's your
ako na
question?
lang magtatanong.
Okay, go
Nahiya
ahead.
siya. Teacher Mariel,
Hello po.
are you going... ikaw na, go. Ayaw niya. Would you still be the teacher of incoming grade 4?
Hindi po. Hi,
Oh,
Nisha.
yeah.
Hindi na ako yung teacher pang grade 3 si Teacher Mariel. Si
Bakit
Teacher
sabi mo,
Judith.
Daddy?
Si Teacher Judith ang teacher mo. Exciting yun si Teacher Judith.
Bakit
yan
si
na.
Daddy sabi niya?
Okay, thank you for that, teacher. Thank you, Sir Rafi.
All right. Thank you, sir. Welcome. So at this time, we're going to wrap up and we're going to turn over the floor to our president, Dr. Christy Manyabat. Ma'am, you have the floor. And what is your message for us? What are your last words, kumbaga, for us before we say goodbye
Okay.
tonight?
First, I would like to thank each one of you, our dear parents, all of you, and our dedicated and committed teachers and faculty in college, our very able, very committed Dean for Academic Affairs in the person of Dr. Ruby. Dr. Beng, our principal, was not able to join for reasons I would like to know later. And Miss Roslyn, our officer in charge of the senior high school. And of course, our dear student in the person of Juliana, a very bright, yet very humble student. I see in her the commitment of Harris to provide quality education with excellence in character. I see that in her and in your children. And for that, we are grateful. And to Pastor Owen and I told him, you are God-given to Harris with this Harris FLMS. Thank you very much, Pastor. He has been training our full-time IT staff here. He believes in empowerment through coaching, through mentoring. So you will be assured that as days go by, we will continue perfecting and our FLMS for the sake of your children. Thank you very much, Mr. Rafi, for moderating. You're always very supportive of our school. You give everything. Thank you for Noel, the UMC TV technical person. Of course, at the side, we don't see, but she plays a major role always. MJ, show yourself. Where are you? So they could see you. Please show yourself. Where are you? Can you hear me?
Woo! Miss MJ!
Where are you?
MJ, halika dito.
MJ, magpakita ka. Very humble yan, pero napakahusay sa technical. Lahat-lahat. Preparations. I would like to thank her. And of course, I thank God. Okay, come here. Now, this is MJ, the Secretary, the President, and very much, she is being trained by Pastor Owen. Later on, the servant will be greater than the master. Pastor Owen.
Jewish.
Okay. Pag mahusay yung nagtitrain, magiging mahusay yung tinitrain niya.
Yes.
in closing, and I will always say, Harris is here for your children. One of the core values of Harris Memorial College is being a mission-driven school. According to news, as of July 15, there is 20.74 million students who have enrolled, compared with last year's 27.7 million. The estimate of the Department of Education of the 27.7 million last year students who enrolled, only 80% most likely would enroll. And you know that DepEd has extended its enrollment to July 15 and it's done. And it's still open to admit and to accept students until end of September. Now, this is the thing as of July 15. Of the 20.74 million students enrolled so far, 19.62 million are enrolled in public schools, while 1.9 million students are enrolled in private schools, compared with more than 4 million last school year. Now, if we get just, based on the estimates of DepEd, to just get 80%, that 80% of the 27.7 million would be 22,160,000. So how many more students are left and are not enrolled yet? There are 1,420,000 students or children who have not enrolled yet. Reason? I guess two. One is safety and security of their children. Like you, our parents, and like us in Harris, that's the first priority that we give attention to. That's why God has led us, with the support of the Board of Trustees of Harris Memorial College and their approval, to have online enrollment and payment and the Harris LMS. So that is checked. Another reason why parents could not enroll their children to school is because of financial difficulty. I mentioned that Harris is a mission-driven school. That's why, starting last week until this week, we may extend it to next week. We are giving public school students, the poorest but the brightest with worthy dreams, to come to Harris and study for free. Now, how is that? We give priority to public school students who are going grade 7. And we give priority to students going grade 11. And we will be accepting them to Harris, and we will give them full scholarship. They will be full scholars of Harris. But there are three criteria. They should be economically poor. They should be students with honors, or lowest is 85, but lower than 85, they have work. Now, I would like you parents to tell this. There are three initial requirements that the students need to comply with through online. Screenshot of the three initial requirements. One is the report card. The lowest should be 85. Lower than 85 is negotiable. Another is certification of good moral character. And third is PSA Certificate of Live Birth. Kasi yun ang information. Hindi kailangan pumunta ng Harris. Screenshot those 3 requirements, send it to the admissions officer of Harris. Then, upon evaluation, there will be interview calling on the phone by the admissions officer. Once approved, then it will be the Harris staff who will enroll the students online. We give everything, but it should be for those who are deserving. Now, because of that, students from public schools, grade 7, grade, and this is still open. And please share this news because 120,000 students are not enrolled yet. They may be your friends' children, they may be your neighborhood, they may be your co-workers. Share this good news because this is an offering of Harris. Hihinto na ako doon. Marami na ako nasabi. Salamat sa inyo. Salamat sa Diyos. Salamat sa inyong lahat. God will be with us as we start our classes August 17. Please read all updates from the Harris FB to keep us informed of many good things. Thank you. And
Bababay na.
All right, what a good way to end tonight's live stream, right? We started with enumerating problems, right? How this COVID-19 has changed everything, and we are scrambling for answers and solutions and everything. Now, what the president has said, we are responding. The school is responding to this need for education, especially those who are coming from the poorest of the poor, from the poor sector. And so they will not be deprived of education just because of, COVID, but they'll be able to study courtesy of the scholarship. And this is full scholarship coming from Harris. And this is one way of testifying, sharing to the community that there's always hope, right? That the Lord is good, the Lord provides, and the Lord provides through Harris. So thank you very much, our distinguished panel members, Dr. Ruby Lising, our academic dean. Also, our teachers, Miss Ballesteros, Sir Sai, and Miss Jean, and also Miss Marielle. And Miss Jenny, thank you for your time tonight. And our parents, of course, and members of the PTF, Miss Rabadon and Sir Fajardo. And Dr. Nats, thank you for your time. And Reverend
Di ba
Bitin
kita
Kinan.
kasama
And
dito? Di ka
also
naman please.
Dr. Dulce Santos. And our student guest tonight, Juliana Isabel Lacanaria. And
Hey, hi.
there was another child kanina. No? And of course, our developer ng ating FLMS, si Pastor Owen. And I hope I did not miss any one this time to thank you. You guys shared very important thoughts tonight, and I'm sure we're all going to sleep, going home. We're home. We're all going home happy, no? Happy because of these developments. Yeah, the COVID has done a lot of terrible things to us, but a lot of blessings are also given together with this pandemic. There are also other blessings, and this is what I mean: the scholarships that are being offered by the school, the still the same quality of education, the FLMS, the responses, all of these things, the preparation done by the school for your children, for you parents, these are all gifts. So we have a lot of things to thank God. So with
Yes.
that note, I would like to say good night and thank you for joining us tonight in this live stream for Harris Memorial College Harris Ready Learning Modality for everybody. Good
Amen.
night, everyone.
Mr.
Thank
Rafi,
you.
can we say
Bless
it
Thank you.
together, the
Bye-bye.
team?
Thank
Can
you
we say
po.
it together because this will be recorded?
Um, what
Yes,
you're saying, if it was
and then we will
recorded?
repeat with you.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What is the theme for this panel interview? And then we will recite it together.
All right, it's hashtag Harris Ready.
Modality for
Hashtag
Oh,
Harris
one,
Harris
two,
Ready.
Ready.
three,
It's on your
go.
screen.
Hashtag
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 Harris
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 Ready.
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 Yan.
Harris
And then
Ready.
meron pa
Thank
siyang,
you po.
ayan, teaching modality for everybody. So,
Everybody.
ayan yung
one, two,
sabi.
ready, go. Teaching modality.
Teaching
Modality
modality for
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 everybody.
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 Okay,
All right.
sabay-sabay. Sabay-sabay. Mula sa
Harris Ready.
simula.
Okay.
One.
Hashtag Harris.
Oh, Sir Ian, tingnan mo daliri ko. One,
Okay, ma'am.
2, 3.
Hashtag
Hashtag Harris
Is
Ready.
Ready. Learning
teaching
teaching
modality
Modality for
modality
everybody.
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 Okay.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Congratulations.
Good
Thank
night.
you,
Bye.
faculty.
Good
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Harris.
night.
We will
Congratulations
end with
po,
the
Haris.
Mr. Rafi, may I request Pastor Owen to lead in the closing prayer?
All right, Sir Owen.
Pat.
Hey, let us pray. Let us pray. Father God, we thank you and we honor you, Lord, for this great night, great time that we had, Lord. We shared together. Thank you for all the wisdom. Thank you for everything, Lord, that we shared upon this Harris FLMS, Lord. Thank you for the parents, for the teachers, for our faculty members, for the admin, Lord. Thank you for the platform, for everything that we have. Thank you for our moderator in the UMC TV, Lord. Thank you for this platform that you provided for us. We honor you and we are so pleased, Lord, by your guidance and love, Lord, and give us more blessings, Lord, despite of our challenges that we have, Lord, in our needs. And at the end of the day, Lord, we will just continue giving thanks to everything that we have, Lord. We give you thanks and honor, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Brother Noel.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Thank you
Congratulations,
po.
Miss.
Amen.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
guys. God bless you all.
Yes.
Bye po.
Thank you,
Thank
See you. We meet
Pastor.
you.
again.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All.
See
Thank
you
you,
soon.
everyone.
Bye-bye, Teacher
Bye-bye.
Maria.